everyone, welcome to part 2 of my Let's Play of Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. We're going to be playing the silver playthrough right away, and let's get right into it.
This world was devastated before I was born. A harsh, bleak place where we live in eternal darkness. Life is a struggle, and people live without hope. How did this happen? No one will answer me directly. But they always point to the flames. These flames, they burn away at my world, destroying everything in their path. They come from an eternal life form that we cannot truly defeat, the flames of disaster known as Iblis.
Silver!
Blaze, what's wrong?
He's appeared again!
Okay, so we're playing Silver's first level, which is Crisis City, and this is probably your first time watching Crisis City. But, Crisis City is basically a city that was caught on fire. It's basically underneath some sort of apocalypse or something like that. And, like, there's lava everywhere. Buildings were nearly destroyed. And, this is what is the future, I guess. The disruptive future, assuming that things were not set right. And obviously it is caused by a, fire life form known as Iblis. And it's up to this Silver Hedgehog, named Silver Hedgehog, who is voice acted by Metal Gear Solid 2 actor Raiden. As for what the actor's name is, we'll talk more about that on like the part 2 of each of these character stories, which will probably start in part 4. And, we also have a friendly companion along the way as well, so it's sort of like Tails, last episode, which is the amigo of Sonic. This is Blaze the Cat, and her first appearance was in Sonic Rush on the Nintendo DS. And, that game in particular, basically tells what Blaze's backstory is. In other words, she is basically a princess from another dimension, the Soul Dimension, and she is the keeper to protect the 7 Soul Emeralds from Eggman Nega. And that was her backstory. Only later on, when this game comes out, people start to question what the reality is, because here she is from the future. I don't know what Sega was thinking when retconning Blaze's backstory, but okay, she's from the future now. Anyways, back to the story at hand. Again, we are uploading this series in storyline order and not chronological order, so yeah, you're not seeing Sonic Episode 2 right away. You're seeing this part right now, and theoretically, I could have just, like, uploaded this video first. So it's truly a chronological order story, because this took place before the events of Princess Elise and everything else. But the reason why I decided to show Sonic first is because, well, here's the thing. In Sonic Adventure 2, you have the option to choose between Hero and Dark Story on the fly. And although the same thing happened, like this game, you're pretty much stuck with Sonic until you meet Silver for the first time. So, basically you can't really do much about it. They pretty much did the same thing with Sonic Adventure 1, which pretty much explains why I did Sonic Stories first, because I was already able to unlock them right away. And I figured, like, starting with that, I was able to get a hold of, like, how the flow goes, and that's pretty much what most people's first time would be. For Sonic Adventure 2, because I was able to choose the Dark Story right off the bat, and because chronologically that's what's first, and I'm able to access for the menu like that, it's basically why I decided to play that one first. But enough about that. Let's talk about Silver's abilities. Silver is a psychotechnological hedgehog who uses his mind to basically carry objects and manipulate levitational and telekinesis. And if he wanted to, he can rip a human being in half by just focusing with a force. He's basically a Jedi in some way. I might as well go and talk about this since I just collected it. So, throughout every single level, and also in the hub world as well, there's these silver medals, and these silver medals are basically the key of basically 100% of the game. And think of them as emblems in the original game, only they mean absolutely nothing. You only get an achievement for doing so, which achievements by themselves are pretty pointless, except like if you want to like get a good ranking on the achievement leaderboards or something like that. But again, there's really no point to doing that, and I don't think I'll ever have any plans on like grabbing every single medal, considering the requirements of this game particularly are really dumb. Anyways, we have finally gained control of Blaze the Cat. So Blaze the Cat, she basically functions a lot like Sonic, except a lot faster. She has a unique double jump that really works. Her homing attack is basically, instead of the A button twice, you press the A button and then you press the X button. Which sort of works in Sonic Rush. Well, not Sonic Rush, but in Sonic Unleashed. But other than that, like, compared to Sonic, Blaze is probably the best character of the entire game. But anyways, she can summon flames out of her, and she can use this to damage enemies as well. And of course, she is the fastest character in the game. Well, not the fastest character in the game, because that honor will go to someone else that's not even Sonic or Blaze. But we'll talk more about that later on. If I'm ranking like top 3 characters of like that control well in Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, Blaze would be number 1, Sonic would be number 2. As for what goes in number 3, probably Shadow. But of course, we'll talk more about that later. But then again, maybe something else is overthinking my head. Oh, hello Taxi Cab, you just spawned right on top of me. I think something else is probably missing my head, but I don't know. We'll have to see. There's also a lot of these creatures that are just hunting around the city, which is called Iblis monsters. They shoot fireballs at you, they'll explode in contact. Then we got the lizards and anything. I feel like a lot of people would compare these to the Black Arms from Shadow the Hedgehog. And no, not the character Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow the Hedgehog, the GameCube game, and everything else that has a ton of, like, that took a completely different turn in the Sonic series. I feel like people like to compare both Sonic 06 and Shadow the Hedgehog as both bad games, bad 3D Sonic games, with a Y feeling. But, I don't think I'll ever do a Let's Play of Shadow the Hedgehog. Maybe I'll definitely stream more of Shadow the Hedgehog, so you get more out of that. But in terms of, like, yeah, I'm going off topic. As I said last episode, I'm going to be playing this game to the best of my ability. I'm trying my best to S-rank as many levels as I possibly can, so that way I won't have to, like, worry about like backtracking too much to get more than what I absolutely needed. Because this game could be really, really strict, and also could screw you over in the long run. We'll talk more about Silver and Blaze later on. But for this first level, as his first impression, dynamic duo-wise, Silver is not very good, but Blaze is really, really good. And he got an S rank, not bad. First level. And I got an S rank. Anyway, so now we're going to be facing off against a boss, and of course we'll talk more about the boss in a second. But again, I really hope you guys are enjoying this Let's Play, and if you haven't done so, make sure to click on that subscribe button, and stay tuned for future content, because we're going to be doing a lot more. So, leave a like on this video, everything else, and yeah.
Come on, you monster!
Alrighty folks, so now we're facing off against Iblis. This is basically the flames of disaster of what Solaris' first part is, of course. But that being said, what we do for this fight is you use the right trigger to collect some projectiles from anywhere, either on the ground or when the enemies are firing at you. You let go. You press the trigger again. You press the X button to fire these projectiles one at a time. And I recommend that you do not spam the X button. I recommend that you just, like, tap one at a time, so that way you'll be able to, guarantee one good throw. I also recommend, like, aiming the analog stick in a certain direction, too, if you want to, like, get some good aiming in. But, for this boss, what you gotta do is, the armored head is the only weak spot, and what you gotta do is, one at a time, throw a projectile at the face. And sometimes the aiming will not work, but sometimes it can get a little bit finicky, and a lot of, like, other shit can get in the way, like these fireballs that you can also select, of course. And a ton of time, he will eventually, of course, like, go down to the depths of hell and grab a gigantic building and attempt to crush you with it. It's really good to hold on to these fireballs, because they can deal a lot. But also, I do recommend trying to save onto some, so that way you'll get a good visual vulnerable spot to when to aim for the head, because sometimes you don't get every single opportunity you get. When it comes to the last phase, I believe, they'll start to blow fire at you, so do be careful on that. But this is Silver's first boss, which ain't too difficult. Then again, of course, for Sonic, we have, like, the Egg Cerberus, which had a little bit of a spike of difficulty when trying to, like, kill it fast as possible. But, as you can see right now, I don't have any form of projectiles to use. I have to wait for this building to crush in order to get more projectiles. But as of, like, right now, I don't have anything. So, after the building crush, now more rocks will spawn, and now I'm able to deal the final hit to him. I also don't understand why the game needs to load the boss dying animation and then load the results screen. I feel like that would tamper with the ranking system, but whatevs.
Perfect!
Anyway, so now we're finally getting some more Expedition, and we also got another S rank. As you see, I'm rocking this game. I'm gonna try to keep track of how many S ranks there is, so... last episode, I think I got 2 S ranks. Actually, no, I only got 1, I think. Maybe I got 2? I don't know. Well, alright, put a counter on your screen right now, Marty. Okay.
Looks like we stopped it for now.
But it'll just rise up from its ashes again. What's the point of all this? It'll never end.
Calm down, Silver.
Then tell me what we should do. How can we completely destroy Iblis?
By knowing the truth, of course. Just as a flower comes from a seed, or a chicken comes from an egg, everything has an origin. You need to find the being originally responsible for this catastrophe.
Is that really the answer to our problem? Tell me, do you know who it is?
To fix this present timeline, you need to change the past.
But that's impossible!
With my help, you can. Because I have the power to travel through time.
No way!
In order to change the past, you must eliminate the individual who has awakened Iblis, the Iblis Trigger.
If I eliminate that guy, will our world be saved?
The day of disaster. Here are my records of this event. This was when Iblis was freed, and his flames were released into the world. And you have this person to blame.
I see it! So that blue hedgehog's the Iblis Trigger?
Blue Hedgehog.
I'll send us back in time to the point when the Iblis Trigger was alive.
Where am I? Blaze? Blaze! I guess we all got separated. This is so unbelievable. Now, I must fight for the future.
Okay, so now here we are in present day. So, as we all know, the Shadow the Hedgehog-like figure has pinned a target on Sonic the Hedgehog. And, turns out, like, Sonic was turned to be the Iblis Trigger in some way or form. And, he's destined to basically be the murderer of everyone around him. That doesn't sound like Sonic, doesn't it? Well, we'll see later on that it's an entire misunderstanding, but for right now, we're just gonna be, traveling as Silver, who's moving at 2 miles per hour in one of the worst subworlds of the entire game. This is the Soliana Forest, which is, compare this to Hyrule Field, or, in, like, here, let's try Twilight Princess, because I feel like Twilight Princess is a lot big in Hyrule Field. it is like ridiculously huge, and with a character who is slow as Silver, you really do not want to be running at this pace in something this stupidly huge. I honestly don't understand it. Anyway, so here we are in the present day once again, and what we gotta go to is we're gonna have to go to the jungle. That's what we're doing next. Of course, I ordered 2 items from the shop. One of them will basically, I think, gives a much stronger hit stun, which will allow you to be able to kill enemies easier with your telekinetic punch. This will pretty much kill enemies a lot better, but instead of just constantly throwing projectiles at it. And the other upgrade allows you to, I think, throw all projectiles all at once. But I mean, it literally I don't know what situational it is, because I feel like it's fine. Like, I feel like it's already fine, like shooting targets individually already as what it is, like one at a time. I feel like I'm able to do damage perfectly fine like that, and for shooting targets all at once, it's like it would pretty much hurt your aiming, and like it would make it harder for you to aim for what you're supposed to be shooting at. But anyway, so moving on to Tropical Jungle, which to Silver's levels is like a gigantic maze. And you know, like compare this to Labyrinth Zone from Sonic 1, Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh wait, we're already playing this game. Oh yeah, that's right, I was talking to the wrong game. It could be really nauseating. Now, here's a little pro tip. Whoa, what the hell happened there? First and foremost, make sure to stand still to let your energy meter refill. And here's a pro tip. Instead of like holding the A button to hover Silver to location to location, I recommend spamming the A button, because like you'll be able to use less magic and you'll be able to travel a lot farther than what you're normally able to go to. So it's probably your best bet, and it really helps with sequence breaking as well, like skipping a ton of like unnecessary platforming that you're meant to reach with your singular telekinesis. So like say normally you get from platform 1 to platform 2 to platform 3. With this spam hover, you get from platform 1 to platform 3, and you can skip platform 2. So I highly recommend doing that. I think most people would use that for speedruns, but are people still screwing this game today? I'll look it up after this recording. Anyways, for this level, we have these vines here. What you gotta basically do is that on the frame where it flashes, you jump, and that gives you your highest height. For some reason, it sounds like a spring. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because like they want to program like some extra airtime, but they would have to like do something. But the sound effect's still there. And then not very much to say really. Again, playing as Silver is like, again, Silver's not the worst character in the world. I'll give that credit to a character later on in Silver's playthrough, because it's not Blaze, it's not Silver, but the worst is definitely in Silver's playthrough, but we'll talk more about that later. And as you can clearly see here, this is where we have a problem of, like, say, yo, I feel like the game needs to add more projectiles. I was down to my last 3 boxes, and the one metal box, which should have broke it, just reflected off of it. And, like, I know these wooden crates would not do very well, but they didn't, they just broke. Even though wood's probably the weakest, I don't know. Again, like, this level, it's mostly trial and error. There's a lot of areas that make you think, like, you're gonna... It's really confusing. Now, there was a checkpoint earlier that I just sequence breaked around, but that checkpoint was also facing a laser gate, but, like, that laser gate was not being clear on how to get rid of it, and it's causing, like, how do I say this? Not very much direction, isn't it? But I spent the most amount of time in this part right here. This part is really confusing, and it took me a good amount of time. Even after practice, I still don't know what to do. And I got shot by these enemies, and, like, these enemies here can be annoying. Let's talk about the enemies while we're at it. So, like, we have, like, the Iblis monsters, but there's also Eggman's mechs. And there's two types of projectiles that can damage you, but in two different ways. We have the missile type of projectiles, which will get rid of all your rings at once, and will leave you stunned. But there's also the Vulcan cannon type of robots, like these shots that are shooting at me right now. If they hit you, they basically take one ring off hit by hit. And, so like, say, I have 3 rings, and then 4 bullets hit me at once, like, hit, lose 1 ring, hit, lose a second ring, hit, lose my last ring, and then get hit one more time. Immediately after losing all my rings, I'm dead. But, like, the Vulcan cannons are pretty easy to, like, avoid, because they're sort of like machine gun ammo than anything, so, like, I don't think you need to worry too much. I still recommend, like, grabbing as many rings as you possibly can, so that way you won't have to worry about Scourge like that. But, and then we got these big guys that take a ton of hits to kill. And for Silver, like, he doesn't have very much ways to attack him, even with a pinch slap. Even with a pinch slap, it will still take, like, a good amount, and, like, now here's another technique you can also use with Silver. So, you press the X button on top of the crate, it will hover you up for a brief while, and then you jump, and then of course you use the hover ability. This will help you in very good amount of ways, and especially glitchy ways, which you'll see next episode of Silver's playthrough, which I think will probably be I think maybe next week, but I don't know. I feel like my Star Fox Let's Play is getting close to an end, so I'll be able to, like, use that to, like, speed up Sonic 06's process, so that way you guys won't have to wait a long time for this Let's Play to finally be over. As you saw in the top left, and you guys probably noticed it, you may notice that my live count reached from 7 to 2. I spent a stupid amount of time in this area trying to figure out where am I supposed to go, or what am I supposed to do. It was like, again, as I said, this is a labyrinth area, but, it's ridiculously stupid on, like, how physics work, and how Silver's playthrough will go, and trust me, I think Silver's playthrough in general is, like, the worst type of game. But of course, I think, like, there's still, like, other priorities to take care of on that one, which we'll get to always talk about later down the road, because I don't want to give out all my commentary on, like, the first episode. I want to space it out between all five parts of each character. Anyways, you want to use the barrel to launch a ball, which will allow to basically, which will destroy something in front. Now, after I launch it again, what the heck? That ball was about to shoot right towards me. I'm not even sure I'll take damage when I get hit by it, but considering how weird this game is, I don't think that's the case. They put plenty of boxes here, but there's only 2 enemies, and that's really easy. Right here's the goal ring. We're finally done with Tropical Jungle, and that also marks the end of Part 2 of Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 Let's Play. And, I think... No, this is definitely not an S rank 3 in a row game. This is definitely, like, a B, I'm pretty sure. But, that being said, next episode we're going to be moving on to the third story of the 3 Hedgehogs. There is Sonic the Hedgehog, there's Silver the Hedgehog, and of course, the next episode, we will be starting the first episode of Shadow the Hedgehog. And and I really guys looking forward to that. And as always, subscribe, bell notification turned on, comment below, leave a like, etc., etc., and I'll see you legends in the next one. Good night, guys.